Hey guys, thank you very much for watching and for joining the live stream or for watching the recording. And I'll be here for you for the next 20 minutes to answer any possible questions you might have about the immigration to the Czech Republic or starting a business here, getting a trade license, getting health insurance, finding accommodation, anything you might need to want. Maybe I should not do the live stream today. My brain is not seem to be braining properly anyway. So as soon as someone starts joining, I'll be happy to answer questions. I'll stay for, let's say, 20 minutes because then I need to go. I need to be somewhere else at 6. So 20 minutes should be around the amount of time I can spend here. So use it wisely, use it properly. Don't comment on my boobs, please. It's somehow a weird angle for the camera. Anyway, yeah, please start asking questions otherwise you will have to watch this cringe comedy forever. So please, guys, send your questions. Perfect, thank you. So Usanes Angelique, why Czech Republic does not provide appointment for visa interview? That's a question I get pretty often lately, and it's a pretty complex topic. I could answer it simply like they don't want you here, but it's a bit more complicated. It depends on the politics, that's one thing, because for some nationalities there are more than enough available appointments. There are no limitations. For some nationalities there are slight limitations. For some nationalities there are big limitations. So politics have a lot to say to that. But then there are also like capacity reasons of embassies. There are also some like not politics in terms of like politics between countries, like what countries Czech Republic wants to have good relationship with and which ones we don't. But also kind of what kind of foreigners we want here. Let's say if like the economic migration might not be wanted at some point because we are lacking enough jobs for Czech people anyway. So there are plenty of factors that go into this. Oishik Chakraborty, if I miss my appointment date, after how long I can get next appointment date for study visa? You will need to apply again the same way as you did the first time. If you didn't and your school got the appointment for you, don't miss it. That would be my advice, because then they generally cannot or will not or might not apply for a new appointment for you if you missed one already. If you had to apply through the standard procedures, send in emails, all that, then you will need to go through the same process again. So you know how long it can take. Czechs. Hi, is GoStudy a legit company? Honestly, I don't know. I've heard of them. I see them from time to time on Facebook, but I don't have any information about them and how good they are, if they are any good. I'm not saying they're not, I just have no idea. CJ Reyes, dobrý den, Jan. New subscribers here. Thank you for subscribing. Just have a question. I'm under blue card. Is it possible to have 2 jobs, one under the blue card and another is just the second job? Good question. Honestly, I don't think so. It would be possible under the employee card. Because employee card allows you to have even part-time jobs. Under employee card you can have even, or the minimum for employee card is 15 hours a week and at least the minimum salary. And if you meet these requirements, you can have more jobs or just this one, that doesn't matter. For a blue card, the criteria are different. And first of all, I don't think it's even like legal to have 2 full-time employments in the Czech Republic at the same time. That might be, but there are some limits, like some amount of time you need to have breaks in between your work and all that. So it might be pretty complicated. Plus, the blue card doesn't allow like 15 hours a week. So it would kind of need to be 2 full-time jobs, in my opinion. I've never done this in 13 years. Maybe I've been asked this question like once. So maybe there is a way how to make it work, but I don't see it right now. Ma Irma Aksaoili. Sorry guys, I will be mispronouncing your names again. You know that already. Hello sir, do you have a video on how we can claim our taxes, and do we need to work for 1 year before we can claim our taxes here in Czech Republic? Not sure what you exactly mean by claiming taxes, because generally you don't get anything back if you're leaving the Czech Republic, for example, because this is pretty common question that, hey, I lived here for 3 years and now I'm going back to my home country. How can I get my social security back? You cannot. That was eaten by the hell of the Czech Republic, and you will not get it back. So from this perspective, you cannot really claim anything, to my knowledge. But if you are full-time employee and you are just employed, meaning you don't combine employment and self-employment, you can potentially get some taxes back from your employment, but that's a responsibility of your employer. They have to submit your tax return, and then depending on what was your income, all that, you might get something back, but it's all done by your employer if you're a full-time employee in here. Jon Snow, the winter is coming. Stupid joke, sorry. How hard to get part-time jobs or full-time jobs in Czech Republic after masters without Czech language? What are the requirements for trade license in Czech Republic for master's degree graduates, non-EU? I guess it depends on what you do. I mean, what's your profession or what you studied? Because it's not that much about if you speak. I actually get this question a lot as well, like lately, especially the last couple of days. If someone who doesn't speak Czech can get a job. You can, of course. There is a million foreigners living in the Czech Republic, and definitely not all of them speak English. And there are even more that EU citizens that are not registered, all that. But that's not a problem if you don't speak Czech, but you need to be able to bring something else to the table. So if you're, for example, a software developer, you will always find a job here. If you don't know anything, if you cannot do anything, you have no skills, no education, you don't want to work, there is no work for you here. So it kind of depends on what kind of job you're looking for and what you're bringing to the table. But one thing related to this, if you finish or if you get Czech master's degree from an accredited program, then you can apply for a job seeker residence permit. And it gives you additional 9 months to look for a job. So you will have 9 months to find a job and apply for an employee card. And 9 months should be pretty long time to find an employer, regardless of your specialization. So I think there should be not much of a problem finding a job. Just depends on how much you're bringing to the table and how much time you want to spend and effort you want to spend on finding jobs. As for trade license, ideally go to our website and just search movetoprague.com and just search there for trade license. We have multiple articles about trade license, or go to my channel. I've done many videos about the trade license as well. So all the documents and everything will be better if you go this route instead of me now explaining everything. One thought here. From the job seeker residence permit, you can potentially also apply for a business residence permit. So you would get the trade license and then you would apply for a business residence permit. But that's kind of the most complicated thing you can do. So I would not really recommend it if you don't have the trade license yet. Okay, if you have it already and you've been making some income, making money, and you do the taxes properly, you do it the way the ministry wants them to have done, get done, whatever. My English sucks today, guys, so sorry for that. So in that case, okay, might work out for you. But if you don't have the trade license yet, then it would be very difficult for you to get the business residence permit. So I would better look for an employer and applying for the employee card. Otman Wanderer, sorry for mispronouncing. In Morocco, it's pretty tough to get an appointment at the embassy. Yeah, basically all African countries and most of Asian countries have some quotas. Depends on the visa, of course, like family reunification and student usually don't have quota. It just depends on the capacity of the embassy. But for work-related or business-related visas, it's difficult in these countries, yes. CJ Reyes, because the company project was put on hold, but they doesn't want me to change employer. Thank you for the answer. Let me see if I... Dobrý den, blah, 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 under blue card. Yeah, well, it's kind of weird that they don't want you to change employers, and at the same time they don't want to pay you, I guess. Otherwise you would not be looking for a second employment. Now, I mean, this is also like your decision, kind of, and they should follow some like laws, and you should follow some laws. So if they don't have work for you and you don't want to stay there, then you can give the leave-in notice and you can find a different job. If they don't have work for you but they want to keep you, they should be paying you a salary, in which case I don't think you have too many reasons to leave, of course, unless you hate sitting at home and being paid for that. I'm kind of making fun of it, but I'm not. I would not be able to sit at home and do nothing for an extended period of time. So, yeah. Czechs. Is Pan-European University a good school? I will not comment on that. I don't know. I will say I don't know. Jon Snow, can we do any job for PR? I mean, if it's not related to my master, you can do whatever you want. You just, for the PR, you need to be making certain amount of money to meet the requirement. So as long as your job makes you enough money, you're fine. Angelique, thank you for the answers. My pleasure. Napoleon Eli Benzuela. Hello, I'm a non-EU citizen with a permanent residence permit in the Czech Republic. This is my last month in my job and I plan to take a gap year. What documents should I ask from my employer? Yeah, generally if it's a, say, a normal employer, like a solid employer, or at least if they have an accountant dealing with this, they should know what you should get. Usually you get a confirmation about your like salary total for the year or whenever you leave, and you get like a confirmation for Social Security, how much you made and how long you've been employed, and then you also get a confirmation of employment for how long you've been with the company and if there were any problems with you, for example, and stuff like that. So, but that's a standard procedure when anyone's leaving. If they have an accountant taking care of their employees, that they will give it to you automatically. But I think these are 3 documents you need, like confirmation for Social Security, kind of certificate of employment, let's say, and then like a general tax assessment or like your income assessment, let's say. So I would be looking for these 3 documents. And then remember that if you have a PR, you need to be insured during your whole stay, or you must be in the public healthcare system during your whole stay. So you need to go to your insurance company and tell them that you are unemployed, and they will provide details for you to pay on monthly basis. Or you could potentially register as unemployed with the labor office, and then the government should cover, I believe. For Czechs they do, not sure if for foreigners, but if they do for foreigners with PR, that's when they do it. So hopefully this helps. Jon Snow, I answered that it doesn't matter for the PR, the income matters for the PR. Professor something, it's Hindi, I think. I cannot read that. I have appealed against the rejection of my study visa through the help of Czech lawyer, and I would like to ask you, will respond to my appeal or not? They will. You just don't know when, and most likely it will be just confirmation of your denial anyway. Of course, I'm not saying that you cannot be approved and then the appeal cannot be successful, but it depends on the situation. Generally, appeals are successful if the ministry made some mistake. So if they said that your lease agreement is only valid until 1st of January and then they are denying the visa because of that, and then in real life it was not valid until 1st of January but 1st of August next year, I mean. So in that case, obviously that's their mistake, and then the appeal might be successful. If the denial reason was that you didn't have a motivation to study here, that's very difficult to appeal because that's subjective. So they will get back to you. You just never know when, and don't have your high hopes. Don't have your hopes high. Like, sorry guys, but my language, my tongue, and my English is really weird today. So thank you for bearing with me. Napoleon, also I will go to VZP tomorrow and ask for EHIC because the employer would not deal with it. What will I say to there? Okay, yeah, so I answered that before I even saw this message, so that's good. CJ Reyes, thank you. Juliet Balas, sorry for mispronouncing. Hello, Yanka. That's cute. Thank you for all the information. It helps me a lot. I'm already here in Czech Republic. It's been 10 days now. Ooh, congratulations and welcome. Welcome to the Czech Republic, Juliet. Willis Huma. Hey, Willis. I sent you an email yesterday. Please kindly answer, and I will send another one after the live stream. Don't send another one. Don't send another one. If it's the same email you sent yesterday, please don't send it today because it will add to my mailbox and it will take me longer to get to the previous email. So if it's the same thing, I'll get back to you to the yesterday's email. I'll reply to that. If it's something else, of course, send a new email as well. But ideally, keep the thread. So we can see all the discussions in one thread and we don't have to search for multiple different threads. Jon Snow, many universities mention that you have to be graduate within last 3 years for student regime. Can we get into student regime without this? Like I did the first master's, wanna do second master's. The rules has changed kind of recently. I'm not sure exactly when, but it was like a year or two maximum ago. I think like a year and a half maybe. And now there are pretty strict rules about the student regime. So if the school tells you they cannot do that, they cannot do that. Juliet, thank you. So how is Czech Republic treating you so far? Tell me. Harshita, I have sent you an email. Please check. Will do, Harshita. Thank you very much. And guys, we still have 2 minutes before I need to go. So ask your questions. I'll answer like 2 or 3. I think that's the most I can fit into 1 minute because as you've probably noticed, I talk quite a lot and I try to answer the questions because usually for immigration, the thing is that often people ask me like for some definitive answer. They want me to say it's like this. 100% or whatever, or your chances for getting a visa is 72%. But it's unfortunately in the Czech immigration, it's not like that because many things are highly subjective. You know, so if you have 2 exactly the same cases, like same nationality, same type of visa, same embassy, all that, both of them can be dealt with in completely different ways. One can be denied, one can be approved. You know, and those are like exactly the same applications because it depends on the decision maker. It depends on other circumstances. So there is no like easy answer for most of the questions I can get. So that's why I'm trying to cover it from all the different angles because there are many different influences and 2 cases are never the same. So last 2 questions from Niraj and John. Niraj Sidhu, how do we open a restaurant business in the Czech Republic? Difficult. Well, there are different ways. I will not go into too much detail, but the most problematic thing with the restaurant business in the Czech Republic is that it's a qualified trade, regulated trade. So you need to have either education or experience or both in the field. And even if you do, let's say you're from India and you have a diploma from hospitality or restaurant business, whatever in India, you cannot just use it in the Czech Republic because it will not be recognized. So you first need to go through the nostrification process, which can take a couple months. And then there is no guarantee that the trade license office will anyway accept that after the nostrification. They should, but it's like, not 100%. So that's the main like block for most people. You can also, that might be easier, that you find some Czech person who meets the requirements, who has the qualifications, and then they ask them to be your responsible person. And that might kind of bypass the need of you getting all the certifications. Jon Snow, is there any way around the long-term residence permit appointment in New Delhi, India? It's very hard to get appointment. Depends on what you mean exactly. If you're trying to get the employee card, unfortunately, you will hardly get an appointment. There is no way around that, other than your employer being part of some of the immigrant... what the fuck is with my brain today? Governmental programs. In that case, they could get you an appointment potentially, but it might still take like a year and a half or 2 years. So not really a way around that. Harshita, what is the price for nostrification process through you? I have just apostille my documents for now. Yeah, I'll reply the email and send you all the details. It just, we do nostrifications, but not too much because it's too much work, too much waiting, takes long time. We don't like that. But I'll send you the details, what we can do, and we'll take it from there. Roga, my brother applied for student visa. It is rejected because apparently he didn't sign the contract that he's supposed to sign once he arrived. So I believe everything can go wrong. Yeah, I of course don't know what you mean by the contract and what happened exactly, but yeah, until you have the residence card, and especially if you, or also if you don't follow all the rules, which you might not even know about, but it's your responsibility to know about them, then yeah. Juliet, my employer were good, they're nice and job is okay. It's just the cold that gets me feel like freezing in any way. Your information helps me, which I followed going here. Good, I'm happy to hear that. Not about the cold and you freezing, but about being useful for your application. So good luck, the winter will be over soon. So guys, that's, Czech Republic is beautiful. Okay guys, thank you very much for joining. It's been more than 20 minutes again. So I'll see you, I need to run now, but I'll see you again Monday, Thursday, until the end of the world. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.